Rafael Nadal Pereira is a Spanish professional tennis player who was born on June 3, 1986. He has been ranked world number 1 in singles by the Association of Tennis Professionals for 209 weeks and has finished as the year-end number 1 5 times. However, it may surprise you to learn that facing Rafael Nadal on clay at Roland Garros is the greatest tennis challenge. Why? In his golden age, Rafael Nadal never feared anyone. Welcome to Tennis FLIX, a channel dedicated to the latest and greatest in the tennis world. You will be captivated by today's amazing video. Why was Rafael Nadal feared in men's tennis? Let's get started. The golden days. If you were an avid tennis watcher between 2008 and 2013, you may have a better understanding of the sport at that time. Nadal was at the top of his game and had unbelievable results, records, and overall play. However, Nadal was a bit overlooked since it occurred when Federer was still competing at a high level, and Novak and other tennis players were preparing for their own peaks. Nadal participated in 54 finals, won 37 ATP titles, and won 10 Grand Slams between 2008 and 2013. During this time, he also won an Olympic gold medal and was the year-end number 1 on 3 separate occasions: 2008, 2010, and 2013. Let me also remind you that Nadal was playing his best on all surfaces during this time. He kept his dominance on clay, defeating Djokovic twice at the US Open final and Federer in the 2008 Wimbledon final, and he accomplished all of this while managing a few troublesome injuries and a foot issue. So, let's discover what made Rafael Nadal unstoppable in his early years. The greatest of all time. Nadal was widely regarded as one of the finest young tennis players in history, if not the best, by some fans. Even though he wasn't sure about his profession, as a young boy he was already winning Spanish junior championships in 1997 and 1998 at the age of 11. In his journey, he had to make a serious choice: football or tennis. Nadal ultimately decided on tennis, and we fans are so grateful that he made the right decision. At the age of 14, Nadal began his professional career in 2001, but he didn't play much on the ITF junior circuit at first. However, a year later he would go on to rank in the top 200 at the end of 2002 after winning 6 of the 9 events in which he participated. But 2003 was actually the year Nadal made his big debut. After reaching the finals of a couple of challengers, he defeated the then world number 7 and defending French Open winner Albert Costa at the Monte Carlo Masters. Nadal concluded the year as the second-ranked player in the world and the ATP's most improved player of the year, having won 79 matches, second only to Federer's 81. The highlight of this year was lifting the French Open trophy on his first attempt. If injuries hadn't occurred, I believe that this moment may have occurred even a year earlier. Now, in 2006, Nadal dominated the European clay court circuit once more, winning all 24 matches and knocking away Federer to maintain his French Open title, who returned the favor at the Wimbledon final. By now, the Federer-Nadal rivalry was growing and continuing, and we all knew that Rafa was the only serious threat to Federer's domination. Nadal's 2007 performance was somewhat more intense than his 2006 performance, but it was still nearly an exact copy. Nadal defeated Federer in the Roland Garros final once more, depriving him of a career Grand Slam, and Federer returned the favor at Wimbledon. In 2008, Rafa reached the peak of his career. After winning Roland Garros for the 4th title in a row, he is already regarded as the greatest clay court player. He also defeated 5-time defending champion Roger Federer in the Wimbledon final in a 5-set thriller that goes down in history. In addition to finishing in the semifinals of both the Australian and US Opens and taking home the gold medal from the 2008 Beijing Olympics, Rafa ends Federer's record of 237 weeks at the top of the rankings and becomes the world's top player at the end of the year. He then defeated Federer in the 2009 Australian Open final on hard courts. Nadal would turn into an absolute beast over the next 5 years, establishing himself as one of the greatest players in history. That was 2011, and Djokovic likely had reasons to believe Nadal was the best at the moment. Technical gameplay, forehand. If you've ever wondered how Rafael Nadal is able to dominate his opponents, it's because of the great deal of topspin he generates on his forehand. As you can see, Nadal has the strongest forehand topspin in the game. His ball spins at an average of 3,200 revolutions per minute, while it can reach even a maximum of 5,000 revolutions per minute. Bjorn Borg was one of the first players to base his style around topspin, but Rafa took it to the next level. Two-handed backhand. Although not as lethal or consistent as his forehand, Nadal was capable of hitting clutch backhand winners on crucial points. His backhand, which he also hits with a lot of spin, is still a potent weapon on clay and is particularly useful when moving cross-court. Additionally, he had the ability to occasionally change the rally's pace by employing slices. There were also times when Nadal would run around and get out of position just to hit a forehand too. So, let's move to the next point. Net game. Also, we can speak about Rafa's net game. We all know Rafa adores the baseline, but it didn't mean he had a weak net game during his prime. Nadal was aggressive in approaching the net to finish out points, despite the fact that his strong grip wasn't the prettiest out there. Because of his quick reaction time and skill, he was able to read and anticipate his opponent's play before the ball was even hit. Unfortunately, Rafa's defensive playing style meant that many fans did not recognize him for his net game or volleys. Serve. He averaged a pitiful 99 miles per hour on his first serve back in 2003, but as he approached his peak, that speed increased to 115 miles per hour. Despite this, Nadal's serve has significantly improved over the years. Rafa's tactical approach was another aspect of his game that contributed to his supremacy. Tactical approach. Nadal was always a smart, tactical player. Even with an improved serve, his strategy was to use his forehand as often as possible. He was a lefty who could damage opponents by dragging them out of position with cross-court forehands to their backhands. Because the balls jumped so high while using this approach, one-handed backhand players like Roger Federer found it especially difficult to respond. It was pretty easy against other opponents, but it wasn't as successful against Novak Djokovic, who had already developed one of the best backhands in the game. A powerhouse. Nadal in his prime was an excellent athlete. He possesses some of the greatest speed, agility, and explosiveness in the sport's history. Rafa's movement was incredibly fast, even with his foot issues. In the history of the sport, only a few sportsmen have shown the kind of stamina that Rafael Nadal possesses. Mental strength. We have witnessed the Spaniard's determination and fighting spirit terrifying his opponents. On the court, he appeared to be a warrior, and many were defeated before being hit by one of his deadly forehands. Regardless of the score, Nadal appeared to play each point as if it were a matter of life or death. In other words, he had no idea how to lose. Today's video has come to an end. We looked at why was Rafael Nadal feared in men's tennis. We sincerely hope you found enjoyment in gaining insights into the legendary journey of Rafael Nadal. For more intriguing content, don't forget to comment on your favorite part of our video and why, like, subscribe, and click the notification bell. Until then, we look forward to seeing you in our next video. If you have a video idea for our channel, please comment and our team will respond immediately. Game, set, match.